It is only natural that George Lewis would rise to be a leader in the Texas Association of Builders and also a groundbreaker in the residential construction industry. George grew up in a military family where excellence and leadership were expected. George's father, Millard Lewis, graduated from West Point and was stationed in San Antonio for flight school. It was there that he met his wife, Dorothy. And after they were married, Millard and Dorothy were dispatched to a bomber squadron in San Bernardino, California, where George was born in 1937. Because of Millard's service, the family traveled all over the world before settling in Washington, D.C. in 1954. At that time, George enrolled in Mercersburg Academy Prep School, where he graduated as valedictorian of his class and was a standout football and track athlete. These accomplishments helped George gain admittance to Princeton University, where he excelled as a top student. While at Princeton, he participated in the Air Force ROTC program for 4 years. After graduation, George entered active duty military service as part of the Air Force Space Command with the U.S. Air Force and began work in the Space Systems Command in Manhattan Beach, California. During his years in the Air Force, he developed his initial project management skills as a contract negotiator for the earliest Star Wars studies and the first anti-satellite weapons system. Upon leaving military service, George wanted to be closer to the family and relocated to Dallas, where he worked at TRW Space Technology Laboratories and Recognition Equipment. A local land developer recruited George in 1970 to embark on a new career where his project management and negotiating experience in the military afforded him the business skills and strength to excel. While learning the land development business, George undertook his boss's side project of building and remodeling homes in the Park Cities area of Dallas. This is where George found true success. With rising interest rates and the savings and loan failures of the 1980s, it made no sense for George to continue in the land development business when his home building and remodeling business was flourishing. George Lewis Custom Homes had found its niche, residential infill. He pioneered and was the leader in this tear down and rebuild concept. During his career, George built or remodeled over 400 homes in the Park Cities area. He gained a sterling reputation for impeccable quality, building innovation, and trustworthiness. Because his business model included new construction and remodeling, it was largely insulated from the cyclical swings of residential construction. Early in his career, George joined the Dallas Builders Association to learn and hone his craft. He still remembers how much he learned from attending the Builders Show in Dallas in the 1970s. He credits the association for affording him the opportunity to learn about the best building practices to banking and regulatory requirements. He received the Registered Professional Builders designation in 1973 and has since earned the CGR, CGB, GMB, CAPS, and CGP professional designations. These designations are a far cry from the time when George didn't know bright brass from bronze. Along with being an innovator in residential construction, George gave back to the industry as an association leader. Upon joining the board of directors of the Dallas Builders Association and the Texas Association of Builders, George became a strong voice for the custom builders and remodelers in the legislative and regulatory arenas. He was a valuable member of many committees, task forces, and councils, but most notably as TAB president. George's formidable education and extensive business background allowed him to lead the state association to implement new ideas and procedures necessary to thrive in the 21st century. His impact ranged from financial and investment policies to building standards and government relations. Additionally, George had an astute understanding of the relationship between legislating and politicking. He was a driving force to raise the profile of Homepack both in Dallas and across the state. He held a global view of the association and understood how all the facets related to produce a successful organization that could better serve the home building industry. For this leadership, George was recognized with the Ted Schlossman Lifetime Achievement Award in 2013. George has also been recognized for service to his community. In 2004, the Dallas Builders Association presented George with the prestigious Hugh Prather Award. This honor recognized him for contributions that he made to the betterment of his community. Throughout his life, George has worked with youth sports, mentored disadvantaged youth in the I Have a Dream program, participated in community development with Voice of Hope and West Dallas Ministry, and is a Paul Harris Fellow designee with Rotary International. George's contributions to the residential construction industry can be summed up by these words given to him by another George. Quote, "Dynamic and talented individuals who strive for excellence in their endeavors reflect the true character of America. Your positive efforts will benefit your organization and make your community a better place." President George W. Bush.